Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Degnan. We start tonight in Ashland, where a woman who was threatening people with a knife on Tuesday is now in custody. Ashland Police Chief says on Tuesday afternoon while on patrol, he was dispatched to the Rite Aid for a woman who was causing a disturbance with a knife. That's where the chief found 54-year-old Linda Dooner of Ashland in the parking lot. That's when she charged at him in an aggressive manner with the knife. The chief verbally ordered Dooner to drop the weapon, but she refused. It wasn't until he pulled his gun that she then dropped the weapon and he was able to take her into custody. Witnesses told police that Dooner was yelling and chasing two males with the knife and threatening to kill them. She told police she was angry because she gave them $40 to purchase weed a few days ago and hadn't received it. Dooner now faces charges of aggravated assault and recklessly endangering another person. She is locked up in the Schuylkill County Prison on $25,000 straight cash bail. A citizen of the Dominican Republic was sentenced on Monday for participating in a drug trafficking conspiracy and now may face deportation. 23-year-old Franklin Gonzalez had lived in Hazleton while he was allegedly selling drugs in Schuylkill County. He distributed heroin between 2012 and 2016. He pled guilty to conspiracy to distribute more than 100 grams of heroin, equal to about 4,000 bags. He was sentenced to serve 37 months in prison. The U.S. District Court judge also ordering him to serve 4 years supervised release after jail. Gonzalez also subject to deportation. A Freeland man was arrested by Hazleton police after he allegedly broke into a woman's home, causing damage to the property and her vehicle. Police were called to 678 Garfield Street shortly after 2 Tuesday morning. 23-year-old Christopher Weichel allegedly kicked in the front door of the residence and entered the home without permission. He then went to the woman's bedroom and told her that Uber sent him. He then ran out of the house. Police found him prowling alongside the home and watched him smash the windshield of her SUV. He caused over $500 damage to the door and about $300 to the car. He was charged with burglary and criminal trespass and taken to prison on $50,000 bail. A crash near Ashland on Tuesday sent 2 people to the hospital after they lost control of the vehicle. Crews were called to Big Mine Run Road in Butler Township around 11:30 p.m. According to police, a male and female were traveling toward Centralia when they lost control and struck a utility pole. Both accident victims were taken to an area hospital for treatment of their injuries. That crash still under investigation. Another crash, this one in Berks County, has claimed the life of a Schuylkill County man yesterday. Police say 89-year-old Claire Bodie from Ringtown died at the hospital after his car was struck on State Route 183 at the on-ramp for Interstate 78 near Reading on Tuesday. A passenger in his vehicle was also badly hurt. Several people were forced from their homes after a fire sparked at a row home in Schuylkill County Monday evening. Fire officials say the flames got their start just before 5:30 at the double unit along Penn Street in Tamaqua. Most of the damage was in the back of the home. There were no injuries, and there's no word on what caused that fire in Tamaqua. As temperatures rise in the summer months, pet owners should take some added precautions when traveling with their pets. WYLN News intern Nicole Ambrish has more.
Hot summer temperatures call for some added precautions for pet owners. Pennsylvania State Police are encouraging those who travel with pets to be aware of the hot car law.
This bill protects law enforcement agencies law enforcement officers for protecting dogs and cats. So basically this bill protects us in case we need to break a window, use force to get into a vehicle to rescue a dog or cat in distress. It's very important to know that it protects law enforcement. It doesn't protect civilians. And I understand there's many pet lovers out there, and rightfully so, and we don't condone breaking windows, but they would be liable for that window if a civilian did break it.
If you see an animal trapped in a hot car, you are encouraged to call 911 immediately.
When law enforcement responds, we'll try to make numerous contact with the owner any way we can. If not, if that dog needs immediate assistance, we would do what we have to do as far as gaining entry to save that animal.
Those who are guilty of pet negligence can face a number of penalties.
So there's a couple different ones. They could get arrested for animal cruelty violations. Pennsylvania State Police has an animal cruelty liaison that we could reference, and on top of that, we could contact the county and state dog warden, reference the call to them, and ultimately the pet could be taken from them.
According to the American Veterinary Association, hundreds of animals die each year from heat exhaustion after being left in the car. Experts say it could happen in just 15 minutes. So protect those who can protect themselves. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Nicole Ambrish.
And coming up on WYLN News, Julia Wiegand has an update on another zoning hearing in Hazel Township, plus remembering those who died 100 years ago today. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight, the low 63, and then there's sunshine in the forecast heading into the weekend. We'll be right back.
Save now on a vehicle that blends city style with wilderness spirit. It's the Jeep Celebration event at All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get outside in a new Jeep Wrangler Sport 4x4 starting at $33,799. Learn more at allamericanjeep.net.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown the Hometown Village Square.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
All-American Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is honored to serve you. And this month, we're honoring those who have served us during the Bigger Things sales event. Lease a new 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4 for just $269 a month. Learn more at allamericanjeep.net.
A recent report released by the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board revealed statistics on underage drinking throughout the state. It says 1 in 4 kids who drink get the alcohol from their parents, and 1 in 5 got the alcohol from a friend's parent. The report surveyed students in 6th, 8th, 10th, and 12th grades. Counties with the highest percentage of reported use of alcohol by students: Armstrong, Elk, and Lawrence. Luzerne County came in at 46%, Schuylkill at 45%, Carbon County 40%. The counties across the state with the lowest percentages: Snyder, Lancaster, and Dauphin. The full report can be viewed on the PLCB's website. No decision was made just yet at last night's Hazel Township continued their zoning hearing. WYLN's Julia Wiegand has the details.
Supervisors took no action last night at their continued zoning hearing for a company looking for a zoning change for building a commerce and trade park near Harwood and Crystal Ridge. The estimated 100 residents who packed the Commons building will have to wait just a little longer for the vote on the request from Miracle Commercial Real Estate for changing the zoning designation of about 764 acres of mineland and another 75 acres of property zoned as business park to an industrial district. The land is adjacent to Interstate 81, Crystal Ridge Road, Route 924, and Old Route 924, Route 654. The hearing went similar to the first continuation back on May 13th, where residents shared concerns that the proposed Commerce Park could have an effect on traffic, wildlife, local schools, medical facilities, and property values.
Where do you get this from? Why do you think this is necessary? And it's really, let's do a study to see what's needed. Not make more problems, not just do something to do something or because something's available, but do something even as some recreation area to be worked in. There isn't any on this side of the township. There's a very, very limited space, and even the neighboring communities have grown. People need more things like that.
After 3 hours of testimony from both the company and about 12 residents, supervisors announced a second continuation without confirming a date or time.
If we bring in 6,600 more people, that's going to be such a stress on our already overtaxed schools, hospitals, our public, everything, our shopping, our roads, our housing. Do we have enough to support this kind of growth in this area?
A legal notice will announce the hearing's date and time once it's decided by township supervisors. Reporting in Hazel Township for WYLN News, I'm Julia Wiegand.
Now to Hazleton, where the zoning hearing board there will rule on an appeal Thursday night on whether a recovery house can operate in the Heights section of the city. A hearing for Guardian Angel Recovery House that began May 16th will resume Thursday night, 6:30 at City Hall. Guardian Angel operates a structured, sober living facility at 413 East Thurwells Avenue. The city believes that AUCC hearing is also required in this case, since the city believes the facility is operating as a commercial rooming house and must complete inspections that are required of commercial facilities. Again, that hearing is Thursday, 6:30 at Hazleton City Hall. The ongoing construction in McAdoo on Route 309 will shut down another part of the busy main street. Starting Monday, June 10th, Route 309 between Washington Street and Blaine Street. PennDOT is closing this section to relocate a water line roadway along with drainage system reconstruction, box culvert replacement, new sidewalks, curbing, and curb ramps. Car and local delivery traffic will be detoured off Route 309 in the project area and onto Calares Road to 4th Street in Calares, to Market Street in Calares, and onto Blaine Street, then back to Route 309. Washington and Blaine Streets will remain open for pedestrian traffic, local car traffic, and local truck deliveries. The section of Route 309 is expected to remain closed until November. Today, a community commemoration of the 100th anniversary of the Baltimore mine disaster took place this morning. Faculty members of King's College History Department gathered with others, including family members of some of those who died, at the historical marker at the corner of Pine and Spring Streets in Wilkes-Barre. The names of the 92 miners killed in that accident were read. The Baltimore mine tunnel disaster was one of the deadliest industrial disasters in Pennsylvania's history. Coming up on New Cranberry's News Choice, get out the tissues. Cameron Gregory takes us to the Helping Hands graduation. Plus, I met my first tick ever this week. Luckily, I found it and got to my doctor right away. Dr. Benyot has tick safety information coming up next in Wellness Wednesday. Stay with us.
Don't make the big box mistake. Shop local and save at Grand Central in Hazleton. Get better prices than the big box store on our huge selection of furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics at Grand Central in Hazleton and at the Laurel Mall.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment, copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available, free off-street parking, and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
Don't make the big box mistake. Shop local and save at Grand Central in Hazleton. Get better prices than the big box store on our huge selection of furniture, mattresses, appliances, and electronics at Grand Central in Hazleton and at the Laurel Mall.
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN, and if the calendar is correct, it's Wednesday, which means it's Wellness Wednesday, thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. And today we are on location at Dr. Benyo's office in Cunningham on Lantern Lane. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And today we are going to be talking about Lyme disease. Now, we live in Pennsylvania. There's bound to be a lot of ticks. There's bound to be a lot of ways that you can acquire Lyme disease, but let's get a general overview of the definition of Lyme disease.
Sure. So Lyme disease is very common in Pennsylvania. The prevalence is over 20% with ticks, and it's usually the deer tick that carry it. They also carry other, quote, tick-borne illnesses, and it typically is Borrelia burgdorferi. That's the name of it. It's a spirochete. It's kind of geeky stuff. But anyways, it was originally found in Lyme, Connecticut, when they saw that these children were having all these arthritic symptoms. They thought it was juvenile arthritis. And then they found out that there were crops of them, and they would have a rash. And so they isolated the tick and found this organism, and then they biopsied the rash in these children, found the organism, and then voila, there's your Lyme disease. So very common around the area. Usually as spring starts to emerge, we start to see it. And typically you notice it when you're out hiking in the woods, wooded areas. We don't typically see it too much in the city. And it is carried by the tick, the deer tick. And so typically they will go on anywhere on your body. It can be while you're walking. You'll notice that they kind of go on exposed areas of the skin. Right. So very common.
Now, you were saying that these children were experiencing arthritic symptoms. You know, are those, could you explain a little more on like the symptoms of, say, you get bit?
Sure. So anytime you're out walking around and you notice a tick, some people won't notice it for a couple of days, and they'll start to see a rash. We call it a erythema migrans. So the rash kind of migrates, and it goes to different areas of the body. There's this characteristic bullseye rash that has central clearing, but it's colored around the outside. Those are classic symptoms. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have those, but if you do have those and it's spring, summertime, fall, we typically will say that's kind of suspicious for a tick bite. You can also develop fevers, fatigue, chills, almost flu-like symptoms. Muscle aches, pains, joint pains very common. Swelling in the joint is also common. Some people also get neurologic symptoms. It'll almost look as though they have a stroke. It's called Bell's palsy, where one side of their face is kind of weak and very common. And then more serious complications, you can develop heart block, which requires IV antibiotics. And then also neurologic symptoms where it infects the kind of brain and you get confusion. We call that encephalopathy. And so it can cause a myriad of symptoms that can range from a nuisance to very serious.
Well, let's hope it doesn't get that serious. What are some ways to treat Lyme disease once you get bit, once you may or may not be diagnosed?
Sure. So a lot of times we have coming into our office patients who say, oh, doc, I just had a tick, I pulled it off of me, what should I do? So typically you want to first identify that it is a deer tick, and then second, if it's been attached for more than a day and a half, And if you've come in within 3 days and you're not allergic to doxycycline, we typically treat you for that. However, some people will notice the tick and it's the weekend and they want to get it off. So we always suggest you take it off as soon as you notice it. And that's with tweezers, applying firm pressure and twisting it as you take it out.
Well, thank you so much for talking Lyme disease with us today.
Sure.
And thank you everyone watching our Community and You on this Wellness Wednesday. Remember, check, 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 because we're not going to stay inside all day, so just be careful. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
Krugel's Georgetown Deli has been voted Northeastern Pennsylvania's best craft beer selection several years running. Krugel's is your craft beer headquarters, and gift baskets are available for all occasions. Krugel's is home of the Crowler. Fill your Crowler up in their tap system and keep your favorite beer fresh longer. Krugel's Georgetown Deli, Wilkes-Barre Township, right next to the Big Cow. Stop in and play Keno or other Pennsylvania lottery games. Check them out on the web at georgetowndeli.com.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Having an intimate gathering and don't want to wrestle in the kitchen? Call Whitetail and ask about their food-to-go catering menu. They'll do the cooking, you relax, and entertain your guests. Call Mike at 570-535-6123. WYLN Sports broadcasting live at the Weatherly Hill Climb. WYLN Sports will take you up the hill, past the Devil's Hook, around the hairpin turn, and through the Dutchman. All the turn-by-turn coverage of the Weatherly Hill Climb live on WYLN TV 35.
It's that season. Happy Tears. Helping Hands held their graduation this morning. WYLN News intern Cameron Gregory has the story.
The class of 2019 Helping Hands Society students were able to put on their caps and gowns today and are now moving on to kindergarten. The Helping Hands Society organization has served special needs children and their families since 1924 by providing educational and therapeutic services. Executive Director of the nonprofit, Mary Beth Cook, acknowledges the day as emotional but uplifting for all who attend.
And these children have done so well this year, and some of them have been here for years, and you see how they came here and how they're leaving. We have children with developmental delays and typical children, so they're just off to a wonderful start in elementary school.
From that start, it's not uncommon for the little ones to begin brainstorming what they want to be when they grow up. As they marched down the aisle, each one held up a picture of what that goal may be. Ranging from princess to plumber, the sky was the limit for these students.
That's a crowd pleaser, but it's also a tearjerker. The children all pick what they want to be when they grow up, and they walk down the aisle and they hold their little pictures that they made.
From here, the children will go on to further their education, but from Helping Hands, they know they will always have a place to stop by and say hi.
They will go off to kindergarten and I'm sure do very well, and hopefully they'll stop in and see us sometime.
None of Helping Hands' success would be possible without the support and assistance from everyone involved.
I just want to thank the generous public and the beautiful staff at Helping Hands, our board of directors and CHIPS, the parents, the guardians, most of all the children. There's such an outpouring of love, and I just thank them all.
Reporting in Hazleton for WYLN News, I'm Cameron Gregory.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Aww. A Hazleton native will be a contestant on Wheel of Fortune tonight. Sarah Capella grew up in Hazleton. She now lives in the Lehigh Valley and works as a teacher. Last year, her daughter Kathleen was a contestant during the show's College Week, ultimately taking home $13,000 and a $7,000 trip. Not bad. Sarah Capella's episode airs at 7:30 tonight on Channel 28 WBRE TV. And beginning next week, WILN will be airing a special half-hour show on the life of the late Reverend John Mano. Reverend Mano passed away May 30th. His funeral service was held Tuesday in Williamsport. He was ordained into the priesthood in 1968 and served in many communities, including St. John Bosco in Cunningham. The memorial tribute is narrated by WILN's Tiffany Cloud and will feature interviews with people who knew him the best, including Diocese of Scranton Bishop Joseph Bambera. So tune in to WILN. That starts Monday, June 10th, 7:30 p.m. to celebrate the life and legacy of the Reverend John Mano. That's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our WILN News Facebook page. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next here on WILN TV.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-through lane. Don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square. The Whitetail Preserve Spring Trap Skeet League starts Tuesday, April 16th at 5 p.m. It is open to anyone who is above beginner stage in their skills. You can sign up at Whitetail any weekend leading up to the start date. Remember, the kitchen is open on Tuesdays at 5, so no need to fret over dinner. The cost is $30 to sign up, and this will go towards league maintenance, prizes, and the banquet that will be held June 18th. Remember to follow Whitetail on Facebook, facebook.com/whitetail-preserve.
Join us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic. It's National Posture Month, and Dr. John and Dr. Stacy are going to give you really great tips on how to keep your posture the best that it can be this week. Join us.